Good morning, or good afternoon, good evening. My name is Peter Ramachebo, and today we're going to touch a bit on manufacturing bricks and blocks. So, what is a brick or a block? A brick or a block is defined as a rectangular masonry unit. That means masonry is stone, anything that's made of stone and it's rectangular. The difference between a brick and a block is just the size. So we go to a brick, we have the length, the width, and the height of a brick. The length of a brick is not more than 300. That means the length does not exceed 300. The width of the brick is not more than 300. That means the width does not exceed 300. The height of a brick is not more than 300. It does not exceed 300. Now, when we come to a block, the length of a block is between 300 millimeters and 650. The width of a block is between 300 and 650 millimeters, and the height of a block is 120 to 300 millimeters. Now, the table that I just showed you now, let's go into practical details what exactly that means. We have a block. This is a prime example of a hollow block. These blocks are mostly used in the coast, but I also used anywhere else in the country, but they're most common in the coast. So in this case, it shows that the block, the length, it does not exceed 650 and it's not less than 300. The height does not exceed 300 and it's not more, it's not less than 120, and the width does not exceed 650 and it's not less than 300. This is the typical block used in the country, and then we move on to our bricks. Now with bricks, we have two types of bricks commonly used in Namibia. We have a super brick and a standard brick. The difference between super brick and standard brick is the size. A standard brick has a height of 750, a width of 110 meters, and a length of 200 meters. A super brick has a width of 110 meters, a height of 110 meters, and a length of 220 meters. Coming back to that same measurement is that the difference of a super brick and a standard brick is just the height. A super brick is 110 by 110 by 220, while a standard brick is 75 by 110 by 220. These are the two most common bricks used in Namibia. And then we have different types of bricks, like for example, you have your clay hollow brick, hollow because of the holes, and then you have your standard brick. This is a decorative brickwork because of the color. Most of these bricks are used for decorative work, like your arches and your boundary walls and so on. Okay, now the purpose of a brick and a block, or what it's used for, is three main reasons. It's used for internal and external walls. That means external walls and internal walls is what bricks or blocks are used for. The second one is used for load-bearing and non-load-bearing walls. A load-bearing wall is a wall that has something that has a load-bearing on it, like a roof, or in this case, a floor. And then a non-load-bearing wall is a wall that has no load at all. That means like your boundary walls or your garden walls. And then the third one is for solid and cavity walls. The walls that you usually see are solid walls, and the cavity walls are those with a cavity in between. So those are the three main reasons bricks and blocks are used for. So it's your internal and external walls, your non-load-bearing and load-bearing walls, and then your cavity and your solid walls. Now, materials used to make a brick or block is cement, aggregate, which is divided into two parts, and water. Cement, which is either your commonly known your Roto or your Cheetah cement, which is either your 32 or your 42, and then your aggregate. Your aggregate, you have your fine aggregate, which is sand, and your coarse aggregate, which is stone. And then you have now clean water. So with these four ingredients, you can make a brick or block. Now in order to mix, or the procedure to mix these four ingredients is whereby you first mix your cement and the sand to a uniform color. And then you add your water to that mixture and you mix it until it's nice, and then you add your coarse aggregate, which is your stone, which goes in the basket. Once that mixture is mixed, we now go on to our molds. We have your mechanical molds, which is your machinery, and then your hand molds. This is an example of a normal hand mold that makes super bricks, whereby your concrete is put in, it's compacted, and then it's removed to make the shape of a brick. This is a mold for a super brick, and this is a mold for making a block. So let's just recap on what we've learned. We've learned the different types of molds to make a super brick, a standard brick, or block. You have your hand molds, and then you have the mechanical molds, and then we touched on the material used to make a concrete block or brick, which is now your cement, your coarse aggregate, which is fine aggregate sand, your coarse aggregate stone, and water. Those are the four ingredients used to make a brick or block. And then we touched on the different types of bricks and blocks. We have a block, and then we have the two different types of bricks, which is your super brick and your standard, your standard brick. The only difference here is just the dimensions of these two. Thank you very much for that, and I hope you learned a lot on manufacturing bricks and blocks.